a medical doctor work for 9 months, 16 months, 19 months without getting paid?
But you see how much kidnappers are eating from victims.
My bill is government should, I think all the stakeholders in that sector, they need to be spoken to, and we sit together and appeal to them.
The 3% for the oil producing community is too low.
So it is support that is needed. And once you get the support, your airlines will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Good morning and welcome to Inside Nigeria, reaching you from Leadership Podcast Studio. In today's presentation of Inside Nigeria, we'll be dissecting major front stories on Nigeria's leading and most influential newspaper, Leadership newspaper, and its sister publication, National Economy. We'll also be looking at Vanguard newspaper and Nigerian Tribune, with focal discussion on VAT, the economic and legal implications this Wednesday. And of course, we have, as usual, with me in the studio, our guest analyst. He is a public affairs analyst, Mr. Jide Ojo. Mr. Jide Ojo, you're welcome.
Thank you, Winifred. Good day, Nigerians. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Bode is indisposed, so he couldn't make it to
I wish him speedy recovery.
Inside Nigeria. Thank you so much. So we are moving ahead to our nation's leading newspaper, Leadership. Leadership has on its cover Wednesday, September 8th, 2023 permutation changes as North Central lobbies APC PDP for tickets. 2003 permutation changes as North Central lobbies APC PDP for tickets. On the right, that we have 6 regions should produce next president for fairness, equity, and justice. This shows politicians from Next Central seeking party national chairmanship positions. 2023 permutation changes as North Central lobbies APC PDP for tickets. So, Joe, today's leadership is on politics. It's looking ahead for 2023 20 tickets. So, what are you saying to this? Because in reality, we have 6 regions. 6 regions in the country, and usually the presidency has always been rotated between the north and the south. And now the North Central is coming in to demand for tickets. So what's your opinion?
It's within their right, Winifred. It's within the right of political juggernauts to want to have an advantage in political contestations. So it's an healthy development. But what I think, as has been said, this issue of rotational presidency is not in any constitution.
Yes.
It's not in the Constitution of Nigeria. It's not in any of the political party constitution. But it is what our political elite, our political leaders, our political class have decided that, look, for issue of equity, justice, and fair play, let's alternate power between the north and the south. And from 1999, the power has been oscillating between the north and the south. So you have 8 years of Obasanjo's presidency from the south. You have Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, taking over from him. And then after that, you have Jonathan from the south. You also have Buhari from the north. Now, those who are saying power should shift to the North Central, it's like I said, it's within their right. But I wish they have said this when President Buhari was jostling to be the president, when power shifted from Goodluck Jonathan, because what I know for a fact is that power was changing between north and south, not between south, not between the 6 geopolitical zones.
Yes,
Even the so-called geopolitical zones we talk about is not constitutionally recognized. But for administrative purposes, we only say, okay, southwest, south-south, southeast, northwest, north central, north east. But in reality, it's political dynamics that has made this. I am of the opinion that power should shift. If we can alter the constitution, let power shift among the 6 geopolitical zones. That 6 geopolitical zones that have not been constitutionally recognized, let it be constitutionally recognized. So we know that if, as the Northwest has produced 2 presidents.
However, so if I may cut in, Mr. Ojo, the southern governors, when they met, was it 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
Yeah, the 2 months ago.
They, among their demands was the fact that power should return to the south, and now North Central is also
no, it's within the right of the southern governors to say power should return to the south, and I think that is more logical. My personal opinion on this is that not that power should only return to the south, but it should return to the southeast. That's my position.
Okay,
that I'm taking. That's my own personal opinion. That the southwest, having produced president for 8 years,
yes,
and has produced vice president for 8 years, should actually cede power to the southeast, which has not produced president or vice president in this 4th republic. The last time we had a president from southeast extraction was the ceremonial presidency of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe in the 1st republic, and then the 2nd republic vice presidency of Dr. Alex Ekweme, who was just there for 4 years. So, for inclusive governance and equity, justice, and fair play, since Goodluck Jonathan has done 5 years from the south region, the southwest has done 8 years, then it should go to the southeast. Because if you go by numbers, Southeast will never produce the president of Nigeria. They have one of the fewest states in the geopolitical zone. Like the Southwest has 6, North Central has 6 states, Northeast has 6 states, South has 6 states. But even Northwest has 7 states, but Southeast has 5 states. So for equity, justice, and fair play, if you don't cede power to the southeast, they might never produce a president under this current dispensation. So, long story short, yes, it's within the right of those who are agitating for power to be. But what I thought, and that is why I'm interested in those riders, what I thought was that they wanted to be chairman of the parties, the APC and PDP, that if they are able to be the party chairman, then of course power will move to.
No, how it's done, Mr. Ojo, is that when, like for instance, if PDP wants to cede presidency ticket to the north, what happens is that the chairmanship will be from the south.
Yes.
It's the same thing in APC. That is how it's done. So the rider says they are disowning politicians from North Central seeking party national chairmanship positions, because they know that when a North Central is made a chairmanship of any of the 2 parties, inevitably they cannot produce the presidential.
I know. It's their party rules that is guiding them. I know Tankwa Makura.
But don't you think that Nigerians and even the youth should look away from PDP and APC and come up with a political party? Because PDP and APC, they are both failed Nigerians.
That is very easy to say, but not easy to implement. You see, for you to run a party successfully to a winning machinery, it takes a lot of resources, human and material and financial resources. The other 16 currently registered with INEC outside of PDP and APC does not have the financial muscle or the strength, membership strength, to win a presidential poll. Look at it. ABGA had been in existence almost about the since about 2003.
Yes.
Yes, APGA came on board 2003, ahead of 2003 election. That's almost 18 years now. But APGA have been embroiled in crisis, leadership crisis, from former chairman to the current one and all of that. The only states that they have, which is Anambra, you can see even for them to nominate their governorship candidate has been so it is good to say let's look away. You know, ahead of 2019 we were talking of third force. Yes. SDP at some point was being mooted as third force. Then ADC was mooted as third force, but all of them fizzled out because, like I said, it's not easy. The reason why APC was able to get up and running was, though it was established or certified in July 31, 2013, it was a merger of legacy parties. Yes. AD, ANPP, then ACN. So this legacy party and part of APGA formed APC. And ahead of 2015 election, they were able to poach from PDP. At least those 5 governors that joined, Chibike Amechi, Kwakwanso, and Saraki, that joined, also swelled the rank. And that was why they could Tambua, that's why they were able to win the presidential election in 2015 under 2 years. But for you to nurture a party from the scratch, where is SDP today? Even the last presidential election, SDP was floundering. Today, former Information and Culture Minister said is the presidential candidate. That's Professor Jerry Ghana. The other day, the former governor of Cross River, and the was saying is the presidential candidate. So they didn't even go into that presidential election as a united front. So these are part of the challenge that has made people to say, look, the devil we know is better than the saints we do not know. So let's stick with either APC or PDP for now. But like I said, politics is a game of interest. There is no permanent enmity or friendship in politics, but interest. And I know these people who are talking about 2023 power shifting to the North Central were people who are fronting or supporting Kogi State Governor Alhaji Yahaya Bello to be the next president. You know, he's been doing a lot of shuttling across the country. At least his ministries have been going around. The Speaker of the state, Kogi State House of Assembly, has been going around to canvass for support for Governor Yahaya Bello to be the next president. So if he's not zoned to the North Central, he cannot be governor. If he's zoned to the South now, he cannot claim to be from the South. So that's why all of this infighting and intrigues is playing out.
Thank you so much, Ojo. From Leadership newspaper, we are moving ahead to a sister publication, National Economy. National Economy has on its cover major story today: investment opportunities elude Nigeria over defective bilateral treaties. Investment opportunities elude Nigeria over defective bilateral treaties. 17 out of 21 treaties not favorable to Nigeria, says NIPC.
Well, unfortunately, this is a real shock to me. 17 out of 21 treaties not favorable, according to Nigeria Investment Promotion Council.
That was only 4 that is favorable.
So how did we sign those treaties? Exactly. Who are the Nigerians that got involved in signing those treaties on behalf of the country? Why should we? You know, this is why a lot of people are saying, hey, watch it. This borrowing you are doing all over the place. I hope China will not one day come and seize our national airport or railway or whatever because of the way those agreements are structured. That's what's playing out, that Nigeria Investment Promotion Council is now telling us that investment opportunity may elude Nigeria. Not that may elude. He said investment opportunity elude Nigeria over defective bilateral treaties. What do we need to do? We need to review these treaties. Those 17 that are not favorable to Nigeria, we need to review it. Look, we just had the president sign, what's it called? Petroleum Industry Act.
Yes.
And when it was signed, they said, oh, beautiful, great. You know, in the last 1 year or how many years, over 50 billion investment portfolio that came to Africa, Nigeria could not seize maximum benefits from it because of lack of Petroleum Industry Act. Now, with this 17 defective bilateral treaties, that means we cannot even jubilate having Petroleum Industry Act, because this Petroleum Industry Act, you have to negotiate and go into bilateral agreements with international oil companies. Some of them, their parent company, their country, like SPDC, now Shell Petroleum Development, is the country where that shell came from is I think it's Netherlands. It's Netherlands. Ajip is from Italy. So some of them, even though they are private companies, their parents, their country, do have to be involved in the negotiation before they can go and invest in. So what this is telling us, which is I believe is an exclusive from national economy, is that Nigeria needs to the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Trade and Industry, and then the Office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice need to work robustly and collaboratively to review these 17 defective bilateral treaties. If there's anything the National Assembly can do to right those wrongs or any other things we need to do, it is of utmost importance that this be reviewed to favor our country. We need all the resources that we can get to develop this country.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joe. It's like Nigeria signs treaties or agreements without going through thoroughly to ensure that it's favorable to it. Remember how we also got ourselves into trouble with
this one that they asked us to come and pay. Thank God that we were able to challenge that in court, and the court decision was favorable. I've forgotten the one that they were asking us to pay almost the size of our budget.
During the twilight of Jonathan's administration,
that we signed
on doing that. We signed agreements without taking into every.
Maybe we don't have the human resource to help us vet those agreements and treaties.
Of doing that.
But we can hire consultants.
You know, when we have so many laws that Nigerians signed that it's not only today. We have the Child Rights Act up to now because it's not being implemented because of some laws, some of those things in place, which Nigeria has no intention of keeping to it. So it's very, very unfortunate. So from national economy, Mr. Ojo, we are moving ahead to Vanguard newspaper. Vanguard has on its cover major story: Imo government shuts banks over IPOBs sit at home. Imo government shuts banks over IPOBs sit at home. Customers stranded. Government blames closure on non-approval of building plans. Owerri Capital Development Authority seizes off banks' premises. Banks in Imo shut down for 5th consecutive Monday. This is ahead of President Muhammadu Buhari's visit.
This doesn't smell good. If you shut banks down in a state, the economy of that state will be badly affected, because the citizens of that state now have to travel out of the state to go and do banking transaction with all the attendant risk on the road. That I think this has to be reconsidered. What I learned, and this is coming from different angles, the writer is saying government blames closure on non-approval of building plans. How come there was no approval of the building plans and the banks are operational? How did they why were those structures not demolished before the banks were built? Or maybe what happened is that I've also seen banks in private business environment, like you build a shopping mall and banks will come and acquire a space there for their branch. If that is the situation, again, who approved those structures? They approve. Who approves the CFO or the building plans before those structures were built? But what I think, then the last one is more political. Banks in Imo shut down for fifth consecutive over IPOB threat. What have been trending is that indigenous people of Biafra's sit-at-home agitation in support of their leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every Monday they are asked not to go anywhere, to stay back at home, and anyone found to flout that or they'll pay dearly for it. In fact, there was a newspaper report early this week that a trailer conveying spare parts was razed, burnt to ashes for defying the IPOB sit-at-home order. So banks don't want to risk their investment. If they open an IPOB members, or they call the Eastern Security Network, ESN, that's the militant arm of IPOB. If they swim on the bank and loot their vault, who will pay? So Imo State government wants the banks to open. IPOB is saying, whether you are a private or public business, don't go to work every Monday until Nnamdi Kanu is set free. And that's what the governor wants to counter. But this logjam needs to be resolved expeditiously, because if government or if the governor decided to now shut down banks, there is a ripple effect of that shutdown, in the sense that to transact any business will mean travel, and that comes with a lot of risk. Unless the online transactions is open. But even if online transaction is open, you need cash for some procurement or for some trade.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joe. We want to go for a short break. When we come back, we'll be reviewing Nigerian Tribune. Don't go away. reaching you from Leadership Podcast Studio. And I still have with me in the studio Jide Ojo, a public affairs analyst.
Welcome back, Graham.
So we'll be looking at Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian Tribune Wednesday, September has major front page story. Zamfara government are terrorists, not bandits. Akeredolu, Ondo State Governor. Zamfara government that is Zamfara State, are terrorists, not bandits. Akeredolu. And selective abductions, killings in northeast, north central. Buhari charges security chiefs.
Okay, so some government are terrorists, not bandits. Well, we are just playing on words.
Akeredolu is the chairman of Southern Governors Forum.
Okay, yes, I know. But this is unhelpful. Whether they are terrorists or they are bandits, deal with them. They are criminals. Basically, they are criminals. So whether you say they are insurgents, they are terrorists, they are bandits, they are gunmen, they are thieves, or they are robbers, armed robbers, or they are kidnappers. They are all criminals. That's common trend to all of. They should stop playing politics. Whether they are whatever the nomenclature you want to give them, deal with insecurity. Let Nigeria be livable for you and I. Because look, we are losing a lot of human capital.
Yes, we are.
Because of insecurity. Now, life is becoming unbearable in many of the states. Look at what's happening now. In Kaduna, they have suspended weekly market, banned sales of petrol in 5 local governments. So, if you are running
in Niger State,
if you are running a home, a business where you need to source petrol, that means you have to go to black market. If you are officially not allowed to buy petrol at filling station, all in the name of fighting insecurity, it's making life more difficult for citizens. And that's why I feel that whatever it is, as the president said while meeting with security chiefs yesterday, that they should change tactics in fighting these bandits. I think Minister of Defense, Magashi, addressed the press after the meeting with the president, and they are talking of the need to change tactics, change strategy. We need results. See, Section 14 sub 2B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended says security and welfare of citizens shall be the primary purpose of governance. So, if you cannot guarantee people's security, now we are being asked to defend ourselves, that we should go and wield cordial, we should go. So, if I go and acquire AK-47 now, I have to license it. Now, to get it licensed might be a problem. They will say, am I an hunter? If I say I want to use it for self-protection, they will say, what threat are you under? Can I even afford to buy one? Do I have the resources? If I can afford to buy one, can I use it? Some of us cannot hurt a fly. We cannot kill a fowl. So, situation where the state has abdicated its responsibility to private, that's how they have turned every family to a local government. So you provide your own electricity, you provide your own water, you provide your own security, you provide take pity on us. The whole essence of governance is security and welfare of citizens. And situations where you are saying they are terrorists, they are bandits, the most important thing for an average Nigerian like you and I is let there be peace. Let the country be governable. Let's have law and order restored. Situations where schools are shut down, markets are shut down, transportation is shut down, banks are shut down. What then? How will you live a quality life under those, even if you have the money?
Yes, Mr. Ojo, sorry. Many people still also attribute these terrorist activities to porous border and the security architecture in the north. Like, for instance, when you are going to the south, you see many checkpoints, both police and military. There is also in the north. Even now that the terrorism or banditry still reigns supreme. None like that. Somebody was saying that he traveled to Jigawa and saw that there was not even a police checkpoint in sight on military.
Again,
And the borders too are still porous. The security, are they not looking into this?
well, maybe they are listening to us and they have heard you. I do know on several platforms I've advocated that unless we police our borders, we will not solve this security problem. Look, way back some 2017 or 2018, former Comptroller General of Nigeria Immigration Service, Paradag, who is from Plateau State, said that Nigeria Immigration Service discovered that there are 1,400 illegal entry routes into Nigeria that are not manned, that are not policed. So 1,400, did you know how much? People go to Cameroon by foot,
Yes.
on footpath. People go to Niger on footpath. In fact, there is a very funny episode of allegedly by the Minister of Information and Culture that there is a community in Ogun State where the traditional ruler's palace, the front of it is Nigeria, the back of it is Benin Republic. Do you get that? Border communities. And these border communities are not even taken care of. So you neglect the border communities. That's why smuggling is flourishing. Was it last week or early this week that there was a newspaper report on, I think that was attributed to the Comptroller General of Customs, where they cannot stop smuggling.
Yes.
That the border communities are conniving and collaborating with smugglers because they lack essential services. No road, no water, no light. Some of them, even to make us, they use the telecommunication of the other country. So if you must get the people, the border community to your side, you need to provide them basic amenities. But beyond and above that, if way back some 5 years ago we have identified 1,400 illegal entry routes into Nigeria, the question, Winifred, is what have we done about it? What have we done about those illegal entry routes? Have we? There was a time in 2018 or thereabout where the Federal Executive Council met and they earmarked 52 billion for what they called e-border project, the electronic border project. But we have not been updated on what has happened with that e-border project. Was that money released, 52 billion? How much of that project has been completed? We have a very vast border. Even Donald Trump in US that wanted to build walls against Mexico border could not succeed. It's going to cost us arm and leg if we want to do physical building of fence around the Nigeria. Nigeria is a big, very big place. But what we need to do is let's employ technology, drones, all-weather drones, satellite dishes, satellites that can survey all our international boundaries, and effective policing of those borders, land, motorized policing, as well as ensuring that we collaborated with border communities. They are very close. They know the smugglers. If you provide them with welfare services, good roads, hospitals, schools, and basic amenities, then you will get their confidence. They can smell out criminal elements and tell you who is doing gun running and all of that. But unfortunately, we have neglected these boundary communities, and that's why many of their children, many of their indigenes are even into smuggling. And when you have porous border, you bring in drugs, you bring in small arms and light weapons. Winifred, it will shock you that according to a UN report, out of about estimated 50 million small arms and illegal small arms and light weapons floating around the West African sub-region, Nigeria is 35 million out of that 50 million. So what is the population of Nigeria? 206 million estimated figure. Now we have an estimated 35 million small arms and light weapons floating all around this country in the hands of non-state actors. And when we talk of non-state actors, we are talking of people like these bandits or terrorists or whatever, or insurgents. So, and what do they use guns for? There was a boy that was in Nigeria that was apprehended, was it last week, by the military, and he said it's one of the Nigerian soldiers that gives him security cover when he's bringing in his illegal weapons to come and sell to bandits in Zamfara and in Katsina State. He has been apprehended. But I hope that all the fifth columnists in our immigration, customs, police, DSS will be flushed out so that we can have a more coordinated and peaceful security.
Jide Ojo, thank you so much for being part of our program this Wednesday morning. Thank you so much. We have our guest waiting for us. And our guest is no other person than Chief OCJ Okocha, former president of the Global Association. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, very clearly.
Yes.
It's my pleasure hosting you today.
Sorry about yesterday.
Yes, we were supposed to have you yesterday, but due to network issues.
Yes, I
Yes,
apologize.
sir.
I couldn't hook up.
So you are quite acquainted with the VAT Verdict. That is the value-added tax that was given Federal High Court in Rivers State.
Yes.
So, sir, what is the economic and legal implication?
Well, the legal implication is that for now, Rivers State government is entitled to collect value-added tax, and this has been backed up by a law passed by the Rivers State government and confirmed when the Federal High Court here in Port Harcourt that gave the first judgment, the substantive judgment, that it is Rivers State government that is supposed to collect value-added tax, refused an application for stay of execution made by the Federal Inland Revenue Service. So, as the law stands now, the judgment of the court is that it is the Rivers State government that is entitled to collect value-added tax.
The matter is going to other court processes like appeal and Supreme Court. Constitution, Nigerian Constitution, right?
No, an appeal cannot go direct to the Supreme Court. They have appealed to the Court of Appeal. And when the Court of Appeal determines that appeal, any party dissatisfied with the decision of the Court of Appeal can now go to the Supreme Court. But for now, all of us know an appeal per se does not operate as a stay of execution. And they've applied for stay of execution of the judgment. And the court has refused the stay, which they applied for. So the law is that for now, Rivers State government is entitled to collect value-added tax in Rivers State. In Rivers State, mark that very clearly. We are not collecting value-added tax anywhere else, save in Rivers State within its territorial borders.
But Chief, sir, the law doesn't it apply to other states?
No. Every other state can make its own law on value-added tax. We are applying the law in Rivers State. And you know that the law of a state cannot apply in any other state except in that state. So no, our law here cannot apply to Delta. In fact, I hear that Delta State is passing a law on the points as we speak now. So no, the law will apply in Rivers State and no other states.
But the Federal High Court judgment is derived from the Constitution. So in this case, I would think, like, for instance, many states are weighing in on the verdict that was given to also apply and send a bill to their respective House of Assembly to also start collecting VAT in their various states.
Well, as I said, the law that we passed here is applicable to Rivers State. The judgment that we are considering was a judgment given in favor of Rivers State government. We went to court against the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and we won the case. That cannot, this judgment is between Rivers State government and Federal Inland Revenue Service, albeit the federal government of Nigeria.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Moving away from that, we want to look at the issue of foreign shopping by judges too, because the CJN presently is weighing in on some judges who gave ex parte orders on the same court process in their various states. So, what is your take on that?
Let me say this. My understanding of that matter is that the first order was made by a high court in Rivers State. Now, that order related to a dispute that involved the national chairman of the PDP, Prince Uche Secondus, who is a citizen of Rivers State. His ward of electoral registration as a politician, or where he registered to practice politics, is in Rivers State. So this was the domicile of Prince Uche Secondus as far as the law is concerned. So somebody sued in Rivers State and got an order against it. Then the next thing you hear, somebody sued in Zamfara State or Kebbi State, I can't be sure now. Another sued in Cross River or Akwa Ibom. Another sued in another state. All those ones for me need to, because there is no territorial jurisdiction over Uche Secondus by any high court in Zamfara State, any high court in Kebbi State, any high court in Akwa Ibom or Cross River, or any other state. Uche Secondus' domicile is in Rivers State, and his political ward, where he registered as a PDP member, is in Rivers State. So all those subsequent judgments seem to me to require proper investigation so that the National Judicial Council can determine whether any of those judges who issued those other orders, the subsequent orders, had acted illegally and unlawfully. So that is my take on that.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for being our guest on Inside Nigeria. Hope when we call upon you, you'll be around to offer your advice. Thank you so much.
Nice talking to you. Nice talking to you.
Well, viewers, we have been talking with Chief OCJ Okocha, former NBA chairman. So that's where we draw the curtain on today's Inside Nigeria. Tomorrow is another date, and hopefully, Bode will be around. So don't forget to keep a date with us. I remain Winifred Ugbebo. Bye.